Hello friends, welcome to your own YouTube channel Uniform Forces. So in today's video we are going to take some more questions which can be asked in the interview, and then we'll discuss what is Northeast insurgency and the questions related to that. So first of all, you have heard many times that there is a dispute between the cadre officers and the IPS, because the Director General and the above and the positions like ADG, DIG, these all are occupied mainly by IPS, and DG is occupied only by the IPS officer. So should it be IPS officer or should it be the cadre officer? So that's a kind of controversy or dispute going on. So first question can be, should IPS be leading or cadre officers? Cadre officers means the officers which are recruited by the force itself, and for example assistant commandant, and as they get promoted, so should they be given a chance to lead the force? Some questions related to CAPFs, like recent upgrades or any changes made in CAPF. Okay, that can be the next question. Then there has been a restructuring in the army around 1 year back. So question can be a restructuring of army. Now this question can be asked for to those aspirants who have given SSBs or they are interested in joining the defense forces. So restructuring of army. Then they may also ask you that why only CAPFs, why not IPS or IAS or defense? So why not IPS, IAS or defense even? Then next question can be, this is NFU non-functional financial upgradation, because this issue was in the news sometimes back. Then there is nuclear doctrine. So what is it? Then there is IK Gujral doctrine. What is this? And their relevance. So this is important, their relevance in today's time, because like we have nuclear doctrine, so we will not be the first party to attack any country with nuclear weapons. That is under our nuclear doctrine. So should it be continue in the same manner, or do we need to change it? Because there is always a clash. There is always clash of thought between Pakistan and India. So should we be defensive only, or can we be offensive as well while using the nuclear weapons? Then next question can be, what are your suggestions to upgrade or improve the situation of CAPFs? Because there are a lot of challenges, a lot of problems in CAPF. There are always problems in any organization. So there are some problems in CAPFs as well. So what can we do to alleviate those problems or to improve the conditions of CAPFs? Then they may also ask you the difference between state police and CAPF. Okay, because police is basically a state matter. Then how come the CAPFs have been established by the central government? So there is a particular act. I told this in my previous video as well. There is particular act given in the constitution which empowers the central government to raise CAPFs or armed forces. Then next question can be, the representation of women. Representation of women in uniform forces in general, and then in CAPFs in particular. So we know that the women in uniform forces, their representation is very less. So they may ask you what are the reasons for this. There are various reasons like society, a patriarchal society, and then different problems or challenges before the women if they are in the uniform forces. So such questions can be asked from particular this 8 point. So be prepared for them. Now, as I told you that we'll be taking next internal security challenge. So for today's our topic is Northeast insurgency. Northeast insurgency. You all must be aware of it. Now, Northeast is basically the geographic, it indicates the geographical region of India, the Seven Sisters, total 8 states over there. And then insurgency is basically is a rebellion where the government authorities are opposed. Okay, so some kind of revolt is there. We know that there are some militant separatist factions operating in Northeast region. Many times you have heard in news like the NSC in Khaplang or IM. So there are a lot of other groups as well, armed militant groups, which are operating in the Northeast region. And what they do is that they interfere in the government functioning, in the functioning by the government authorities. They indulge themselves in activities like extortion, murders, killings, etc. So this is the insurgency in Northeast region. Now next question can be, what are the reasons for this insurgency? So I would say that there are a lot of reasons, but if I talk about some important ones, then number one is that there are clashes among different ethnic groups in the region. Okay, then second reason can be the long and porous border that the northeastern states share with like Bangladesh and Myanmar. So you know what happened? It leads to illegal crossover, smuggling, activities like smuggling. Okay, this is the second reason. And if I talk about some more reasons, then again, as I told you in my last video on left-wing extremism, that development is one very important point. So there is lack of development in the region. Then there is hilly terrain which gives strategic advantage to militants for guerrilla warfare. It becomes very easy to hide and then attack in the hilly region. Now these are some of the major reasons for Northeast insurgency. Now next we need to see what the steps have been taken by the government both at central and state level. So steps taken, first of all, Naga peace talks have been initiated many times. Like a couple of years back, the central government appointed R.N. Ravi as the interlocutor. So interlocutor is kind of mediator between both the parties. Second, many factions are banned under Terrorist Organization Act. So there is some kind of act in which many factions have been declared as terrorist organization and they are banned. Next is there is AFSPA, Armed Forces Special Power Act. So it is in operation in many states in the northeast region. Here I would like to tell you that there are 3 states which are peaceful states. So they are excluded from the northeast insurgency as well as from the AFSPA. So these exclusion are Tripura, Mizoram, and Sikkim. So these are 3 peaceful states in northeast region. Then there is SRE scheme, which is security related expenditure scheme. So I have covered this point in my last video as well on the left wing extremism, where the government has allocated some amount for the infrastructure development for installing the security related infrastructure in the region. Then there is surrender cum rehabilitation scheme. So all the militants who feel that they want to return to the mainstream society, they are provided an opportunity by the government by means of money and skill development, so that they can start a new chapter of their lives as a normal person. Then there is Northeastern Council for regional planning. Then there is BADP. What is BADP? So BADP is basically a border area development program. As we know that the states which share borders are really far flung, and they are they are not very good in terms of infrastructure, in terms of facilities. So this program ensures that the states are well connected through roads and by other means of transports, and then basic facilities of health, education are provided in these regions as well, so that people feel that okay, the government is looking for them also, the government is taking care of people living in border areas as well. And next is there is full-fledged ministry for this, which is called Development of Northeast Region Ministry. If you have heard of it, there is a dedicated ministry for the development of Northeast region. And then 10% of budget allocation is dedicatedly reserved for the Northeast region. So I think I have covered major points, major steps taken by the government. And one more question can be asked, like what is the source of funding of these militant factions in the Northeast region? Source of funding क्या है? Source of funding, because obviously हर एक चीज के पीछे मनी होता है, मतलब मनी चाहिए होता है, पैसा चाहिए होता है. तो पहला है एक्सटॉर्शन. So my friends who are living in Northeast region or who have been there, they are very well aware of this thing, that money is extorted from from the people on regular basis, this on some interval, like in 1 month or per week or twice a month. So this extortion is there, and extortion is majorly done from the rich people and the businessmen. Then there are Hawala transactions. Hawala transactions are kind of illegal transactions. Then there are counterfeit currency. Counterfeit currencies means नकली currencies जो होती हैं वो. इसके बाद smuggling of contraband items. Contraband means the items which are banned in our country. Then there are some supporters and sympathizers. So they also help the militant factions in carrying out their militant activities. So if next question is obviously what are your what is your taking what are your suggestions to tackle this problem. So your own solutions to the problem. So number one is that there has to be a coordination, a great amount of coordination between the CAPFs and state police. State police. Second, strengthening of CAPFs and all the armed forces or the state police forces operating in that region. Then next point is obviously the development of the region. And under this point, I would like to highlight one more point, which I think should be should be considered by the government. That is, every activity, every conference और कुछ भी सम्मेलन होता है या कोई भी गवर्नमेंट की मीटिंग होती है, दे ऑल आर कैरिड आउट इन मेट्रोपॉलिटन सिटीज. फॉर एग्जांपल दिल्ली, चेन्नई, मुंबई, कोलकाता. Okay, so I think rather than preferring these cities, the government needs to organize such functions or such conferences in northeast region as well. अगर वहां पर ये सब स्टार्ट होगा तो धीरे धीरे उस एरिया को भी हाईलाइट किया जाएगा. वहां पर भी जो डेवलपमेंट एक्टिविटीज हैं उनको फास्ट किया जाएगा और वहां पर भी इंश्योर किया जाएगा कि वहां पर सिक्योरिटी जो है वो अच्छे से हो, बिकॉज गवर्नमेंट फंक्शनरीज फिर वहां पर मूव करेंगी, आएंगी, जाएंगे. और इस तरीके से मतलब नॉर्थ ईस्ट रीजन जो है वहां पर भी एक ऐसा मतलब प्लेस होना चाहिए, या फिर नॉर्थ ईस्ट रीजन को भी हमें जो है प्रेफर करना चाहिए फॉर गवर्नमेंट मीटिंग्स या कॉन्फ्रेंसेस के लिए. ठीक है, तो वो रीजन भी जो है फिर वो ज्यादा जल्दी से इंप्रूव होगा. इसके बाद इसके बाद ये पॉइंट है कि जो पॉपुलेशन है वहां की, वो पॉपुलेशन एक पॉइंट मैंने आपको बताया था, उस पॉपुलेशन को हमें बेसिक फैसिलिटीज पहुंचानी होंगी और साथ में उनका परसेप्शन जो है, परसेप्शन को भी हमें मैनेज करना होगा कि द गवर्नमेंट इज देयर फॉर देयर वेलबींग, फॉर देयर डेवलपमेंट. सो दैट्स इट फ्रॉम माय साइड फॉर टुडेज टॉपिक. And whatever I am telling you here is obviously not in very much detail or is not exhausted, but then we need to see for what purpose we are doing this. We are doing this for interview, and for interview I think this is more than enough. So our next topic will be terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir. So if you still have any doubt regarding today's topic, then you can ask me in the comment box or in Telegram group. I'll try to answer you over there. See you in the next video. Take care.